What up, people? Welcome to the fourth installment of Mike Steph's Wrestlemania Memories. I think we're up to Wrestlemania 4, right? 1988. The Wrestlemania 4 emanated from Trump Casino Plaza in Atlantic City, Jersey. And this would happen to be a two consecutive years in which WrestleMania emanated from the same location. It actually, to tell you the truth, had a 2-year arc. WrestleMania 4 crowned, finally, the Macho Man Randy Savage as your new WWF World Heavyweight Champion. But this also marked the beginning of a year-long storyline in which we was fully engrossed. And it happened a couple months prior. I remember I was 11 years old, and on one I believe October night, Saturday night main event, the Macho Man, after the heinous deeds that he did the year before, had slowly became a babyface in his quest to recapture the Intercontinental Championship held by the Honky Tonk Man and the Colonel Jimmy Hart. So on this Saturday night main event, he found himself triple teamed by the Honky Tonk Man and the WWF World Tag Team Champions at the time, the Hart Foundation. Back and forth happened. Action go, and the Honky Tonk Man, what he was famous for at the time, was getting himself disqualified. That's why for the longest he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. He was the greatest of all time. So, in typical Honky Tonk fashion, he got himself disqualified, and he went to hit the Macho Man over the head with his guitar, right? Not only that, he actually pushed the lovely Elizabeth out the way, literally pushed her to the ground, snapped her dress strap off. And this is something, especially in the 80s, especially in cartoonish WWF, we wasn't accustomed to. Man on female violence? So Miss Elizabeth got out the ring and she went to help her man. And I remember to this day, the song they used in recapping this angle was Tammy Wynette, "Stand by your man, woo, 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 woo." So she scurries back to the dressing room. Now mind you, Macho Man is technically not a face yet, even though he's facing heels. So a lot of the face locker room wasn't effing with the Macho Man, because they could still remember a year prior, you tried to take Ricky the Dragon Steamboat out. You was one vicious mother effer. To the surprise of all, Miss Elizabeth emerges from the locker room with none other than Hulk Hogan. And she drags Hulk Hogan and pleads with him to help her man, to help the Macho Man. And because he was such a righteous individual at that time, he helped the Macho Man by getting rid of the Honky Tonk Man and the Hart Foundation. And there was formed what they call the Mega Powers. Hulkamania and the Madness together. So, we fast forward to February 5th, 1988. The first ever main event. The first ever live prime time WWF main event. I believe it happened on a Friday night. And it was a rematch from WrestleMania 3. Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. But this time, Andre the Giant was on loan to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, because Ted DiBiase had came in to WWF and his goal was to win, matter of fact, not to win, but to buy the WWF championship. Because in his mind, every man, everybody has a price for the $1 Million Man. Even Hulk Hogan. He attempted to buy it from Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan told him no. So he said, the next best thing, I'm going to rent Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant is going to bust Hulk Hogan's ass. And then Andre the Giant is going to sell me the championship. But he had an ace in his sleeve. Ace up his sleeve. Not only did he have Andre the Giant, he quote-unquote bought off the referee to get a plastic surgery so they could be twins. This was the story of Dave and Earl Hebner. The evil twin replaced his older brother, replaced the referee of record, and counted a 1, 2, 3 when Hulk Hogan clearly got his shoulder up at 1.5, 2. But there was no instant replay back then. You hear Vince McMahon on commentary, you hear Jesse the Body on commentary. Oh my God. Well, Vince McMahon's like, oh my God, it wasn't 3. It wasn't 3. But the referee decision was final. And as soon as he raised the belt, he gave it over to the $1 Million Man. Unfortunately, Jack Tunney, the president of the WWF at the time, said, no. You can't sell a belt. You can't buy a belt. So the decision stands, as in Andre the Giant is the champion of record, but he effectively forfeited the title when he attempted to sell it to the $1 Million Man. So you put it up for grabs in a 16-man championship tournament at Wrestlemania 4. And when I say that wasn't what I had planned in mind, I was like, you know what? All right, just have the Macho Man go against Andre the Giant. Have the Macho Man go against Ted DiBiase. I don't want to see all these people in the tournament you knew wasn't going to win. You knew Greg the Hammer Valentine wasn't going to win. You knew Ricky Steamboat wasn't going to win. You knew the one-man gang wasn't going to win. But they had a tournament for tournament's sake. And the winner of that tournament was the Macho Man Randy Savage. He defeated the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase in the tournament final, and he became the champion for the first time. With some help from Hulk Hogan, of course, because what type of angle would it be if Hulk Hogan didn't stick his nose in somebody else's business? So he was celebrating more than the Macho Man, because he came to quote-unquote counteract Andre the Giant. And that led up, the whole year led up to tensions being raised with the Mega Powers. Hulk Hogan, at every opportunity he could, he grabbed for the spotlight. He got closer and closer to Miss Elizabeth. My thing is, dude, you know when your boy, supposedly your boy is very possessive about his man. About his woman. SummerSlam, you put her up on her on Macho Man's shoulders by her ass. I love Elizabeth as a sister. You should have known That man talk about, you love Elizabeth. The lovely Elizabeth. You got lust in your eyes, Hulk Hogan. You got lust in your eyes. So we fast forward to all the way to the next February. The main event. Once again, on NBC. This time, it was the Mega Powers going against the Twin Towers, the team of the Big Boss Man and Akeem, the African Dream. That's my famous U-turn at this point. And once again, Hulk Hogan's trying to take the spotlight. A mishap happened in which the Macho Man was thrown out of the ring on Miss Elizabeth, and Miss Elizabeth was taken to the back. I remember it like it was day. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen this story happen. Macho Man's about to be pissed. So Hulk Hogan leaves the Macho Man to get his ass bust by the Twin Towers to go check on the lovely Elizabeth in the locker room. When he gets back there, Elizabeth is like, no, go help Randy. Go help Randy. He's like, yeah, but I just want to make sure you're okay. Are you okay? Are you okay? He goes back. The Macho Man figures out what he's going to do. When they get back, after that match is over, when they get back to the dressing room, the Macho Man is tight. The Macho Man is tight. The Macho Man is like, you got lust in your eyes. I seen it. He's like, no, Randy, you're wrong. Brutus the Barber comes in, tries to play peacemaker. Macho Man wasn't having none of that. Fuck out of here. Threw him out the way. He's going down a list of things. A list of grievances he has with Hulk Hogan. Because he knows Hulk Hogan ain't nothing but a piece of shit. He knew before everybody else. I was riding with the Macho Man. Macho Man had every right. I saw you pushing up on my woman. That's probably the only reason you came to help me out, because you was pushing up on my woman. You wanted Elizabeth for yourself. I told you, I lent Elizabeth to be your manager. All of a sudden now, she's our manager. No, motherfucker. No, she's my manager. She's my woman. You slithered your way in like the snake that he was. Neither here nor there. But this is where the angle took a turn for the worse. While Elizabeth was trying to prevent them from fighting each other, the Macho Man, in his anger, not only pushed Elizabeth out the way, he literally threw her out the way. Fuck out of here! He didn't say fuck out of here, but you get the gist. And he commenced to whip Hulk Hogan ass. And at that time, it's on. He's like, I know what it is. You jealous of me all along. You know, because the madness is better than Hulkamania. You wanted my belt, and you wanted my woman. I seen it in your eyes, Hulk Hogan. I seen it in your eyes. And this was definitely coked up Macho Man. The veins popping. He was sweating bullets. He would take the glasses off, and you would see the intensity in his eyes of not only a man that was wronged by his supposed best friend, but a man that realized that his friend wasn't his friend anymore. His friend was never his friend. Bitter pill to swallow, but it was what it was. So then that led up to Wrestlemania 5. Once again, at Trump Plaza and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. What was it, April 1st, April 2nd? Something to that. The mega powers explode with the tagline. And explode they did. And through every possibility, Macho Man unfortunately succumbed to the power of Hulkamania. Bullshit. Like they didn't even take the strap off him. But at this time, I didn't know any better. I just knew, I was hoping that Hulk Hogan was actually going to fail. That Hulk Hogan was actually going to take a step back. Little did I know, Hulk Hogan was never going to take a step back until he felt like taking a step back. And the only reason he took a step back is because he had better things to do. And then when he realized that he was losing his spot, he was like, I gotta come back. But to put a bow tie on this is a 2-year angle. Very, very reminiscent in the structure of putting it out for 2 years of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. WrestleMania 39 into WrestleMania 40. The loss, the redemption story, the victory. This time it was the friendship, the victory, the seeds of descent, the king back on his throne. The undercards were very underwhelming. I mean, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't really remember not many of the undercard matches. I think WrestleMania 5, you had the British Bulldogs versus the Islanders, Haku and Tama. You had Bobby the Brain versus the Red Rooster. What else? Yeah, Demolition. Oh, matter of fact, that was WrestleMania 4. Demolition getting the tag titles off of Strikeforce. And then Demolition in WrestleMania 5 defeating the Powers of Pain to retain. You had the coming out party of Bret the Hitman Hart in WrestleMania 4 by going to the last two in the Battle Royal, in which he lost to Bad News Brown. And that solidified his face turn by breaking the trophy from a black man. Listen, I love Bret Hart. Shoot, Bret Hart has always loved the black queens, but that was a bad look. And then in WrestleMania 5, damn, what was Bret Hart doing? Can't remember. Really can't remember. Shoot, his brother Owen debuted as the Blue Blazer against, was it Mr. Perfect? Might have been Mr. Perfect. But yeah, like I said, very underwhelming. So those are my memories of WrestleMania 4 and 5. As I said, I was going to combine them two because neither one of them really deserved their own entity, and it was connected. So I figured I'd connect the whole thing. Next on the road to WrestleMania 41, as I get older and older, 1990. WrestleMania 6. Hulk Hogan, once again, in the main event. Do you notice there's a narrative going on? Hulk Hogan's always in the main event. So this would be his 6th main event. Well, 5 out of 6 years. Okay, you can't count really WrestleMania 4, technically, even though he made sure he was prominent figure in that main event. But WrestleMania 6, champion versus champion. The Ultimate Warrior, Intercontinental Champion, against the heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan, in a title versus title match at the Sky Dome. First international WrestleMania. Toronto, Canada, to be exact. So that's going to be our topic. Next edition of Mike Steph's WrestleMania Memories. Goodbye.